Have you ever been told your dream was useless? That the thing you loved most would never take you anywhere? I was told that too. And this is the story of how the dream they tried to bury became the reason I survived. My name is Amara. I was born in a village so small that if you blinked while passing through, you would miss it. A village where the road was always red with dust. No matter how many times the rain tried to wash it away, it still remains red. A village where houses leaned on one another like tired relatives. Houses built from mud walls, patched with hope, and zinc roofs that rattled whenever the wind passed through. In that place, mornings did not wait for the sun to fully rise before work began. Roosters announced the day before clocks ever could, and life moved to the rhythm of survival. My parents were farmers, honest people, and they were also quiet people. My parents are people who spoke more with their hands than with their mouths. Their palms were rough from years of gripping hoes and cutlasses, their backs permanently bent from bowing to the land that both fed and exhausted them. They woke before dawn and returned long after the sun had disappeared, smelling of soil, sweat, and fatigue. They never complained, not because life was easy, but because complaining did not put food on the table. We were poor, not the kind of poor people exaggerate for sympathy, the real kind. The kind where food was measured before it was cooked. The kind where clothes were worn until the fabric finally surrendered. The kind where school fees were discussed in hushed voices late at night, so children would not hear the fear hiding behind the numbers. Some nights, my mother would stand over an almost empty pot, stirring slowly, adding more water than usual, praying it would last long enough to silence hunger. Some nights, my father would sit outside staring into the dark, counting deaths in his head like prayers he could not speak aloud. And every night, before sleep claimed us, they prayed. Still, they loved me fiercely. Education was their hope, their single candle in a long tunnel. They believed that if I learned enough, if I escaped the soil that had trapped them for generations, my life would be different. Every school term came with sacrifice. Goats were sold, crops were exchanged, pride was swallowed. And every morning, before I walked the long, dusty road to school, my mother would cup my face, look into my eyes and whisper, "Learn well. Education is the only thing nobody can steal from you." Even as a child, my hands were restless. While other children chased one another through open fields, their laughter echoing across the village, I sat quietly at the edges of things, gathering what others ignored. Seeds fallen from trees, smooth stones warmed by the sun, shells carried inland by travelers, broken bits of clay discarded after failed pots. I arranged them carefully, rearranged them endlessly, studying how colors spoke to one another. I did not know the word for it then, but I was designing. I made small ornaments from dried seeds. I threaded shells into crude necklaces. I shaped mud into tiny figures and left them in the sun to harden. My hands understood patterns before my mind did. When I worked with my hands, the world grew quiet. Hunger faded into the background. Worries softened. Time disappeared. The village women often laughed at me and sometimes usually says, "This one likes wasting time more." Instead of helping her mother, she is playing. And sometimes, when they thought I was not looking, they picked up my little creations and examined them closely. Some even wore them briefly before pretending it meant nothing. I noticed everything, even when I said nothing. At night, when the fire crackled and shadows danced against the walls, I sat close to the light, shaping whatever my hand could find. That was when I felt most alive, not because life was good, but because my spirit had something to hold on to. But dreams do not survive poverty easily. When I turned 12, the world shifted. I remember that evening clearly. The sky was heavy, swollen with clouds that promised rain but never delivered. My parents called me into the room. My mother's eyes were swollen from crying. My father's voice trembled when he spoke. They told me I was going to Lagos. They said my mother's elder sister would take me in. They said the city had better schools, better opportunities, a better future. I nodded because that was what good children did, but inside me, something cracked. I was not afraid of Lagos. I was afraid of leaving home. I was afraid of a world where love was not guaranteed. That night, I cried quietly, pressing my face into my mat so no one would hear. The journey felt endless. The bus rattled and groaned as it swallowed miles of road. Villages disappeared, trees thinned, buildings rose, silence was replaced with noise. Lagos did not announce itself gently. It arrived loud, impatient, overwhelming. After some hours, we arrived Lagos. Lagos swallowed me whole. The noise, the speed, the anger in the air. Nothing rested. Nobody waited. People moved like they were late for something important, even when they had nowhere to go. Finally, when I reached my auntie's house, my heart was already tired. My Auntie Carla did not hug me. She did not ask if I was hungry. She looked me over once, from my worn slippers to my faded dress, and she said, "I hope you know I'm the one paying your school fees now." That sentence alone became a chain around my neck. Life in her house was cold, calculated, controlled. Love was conditional. Silence was safer than speaking. And then there was her daughter, Vanessa. Vanessa was my age, but we lived in different worlds. She was confident, admired, loud. She had never known hunger the way I had. She hated me instantly, not because I wronged her, but because my presence threatened her spotlight. And still, my hands remembered who they were. At night, under a small desk lamp, I returned to my designs. This time, they were different. Urban, bold, made from broken jewelry, wires, discarded beads. I worked quietly, carefully, knowing discovery would mean punishment. Auntie Carla hated my creativity. She called it useless. She called it nonsense. She called it a waste of harmony. Every time she found my work, she destroyed it. Every time, a piece of me died with it. Every morning, I woke before the sun, not because I wanted to, but because the house demanded it. Sweep the compound, wash plates, prepare water, arrange goods for the shop. Silence was expected from me, the kind that makes you disappear while still standing there. In that house, I learned how to become invisible. I learned how to lower my eyes when spoken to. I learned how to swallow words before they reached my mouth. I learned how to apologize even when I was wrong. School in Lagos was bigger, sharper, crueler. School became the only place where I could breathe. But even there, peace did not last long. One afternoon at school, Vanessa held up the things I had made and she mocked me until the whole class laughed. They threw them on the ground. They stepped on them. I ran home crying. That day, everything I had ever made was destroyed. Necklaces, bracelets, anklets, cut, torn, scattered. I begged. I screamed. She did not stop. That night, something inside me hardened. Hold on. Before I tell you what happened next, if you're still here watching, you're clearly someone who loves real stories, the kind that touch the soul. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next stories. I share more powerful, real-life stories like this one. And if this story is touching you right now, have you ever been told your dream was useless or that you should stop creating because it didn't make sense to others? Tell me in the comments, what dream did people try to bury in you? After secondary school, she chained me to her shop. From morning till night, I worked. Sweeping, selling, running errands, standing for hours until my legs burned. Customers shouted, the heat suffocated, and every mistake earned insults that cut deeper than slaps. My body was exhausted. My spirit was worse. But I missed creating. I missed the feeling of turning nothing into something. I missed the quiet joy that came from making beauty where none was expected. But passion does not die easily. It waits. That was when Mrs. Daniels, whom had been my teacher during my last year of secondary school, a woman with gentle eyes and a voice that made you feel seen, became my miracle. She listened. She believed. She protected my work in secret. I created again in secret. I carried my designs to her house in silence, wrapped in cloth like fragile hope. One afternoon, she told me about a program, a youth empowerment and creative innovation program, a national platform, a chance to show the world my creativity, and a hobby which is a gift from God. Then finally came the Youth Empowerment and Creative Innovation program. On the day of the display, my aunt tried to stop me. She sent me away on a fake errand, hoping time would swallow my chance. Well, I went for the errand. I ran very fast, through traffic, through noise, through fear. But when I got back, my work was already displayed. When the judges saw it, everything changed. When they asked who made it, I stepped forward. When they announced the winner, I won. At home, I was locked out, disowned, erased. The night I was locked out, I walked through the streets until my feet ached and my thoughts blurred. Lagos at night is a different creature. During the day, it shouts and pushes and demands speed. At night, it watches. Street lights flickered. Music leaked from open windows. Somewhere, people laughed without knowing a girl was learning how quickly belonging can be taken away. I knocked on Mrs. Daniel's door with trembling hands. When she opened it and saw me standing there with my small bag, she did not ask questions. She stepped aside and let me in. That simple act, space without judgment, broke something open inside me. I cried then, openly, without shame, the way children cry when they are finally safe. The days that followed were strange. Freedom felt unfamiliar. I woke up early expecting orders that never came. I flinched at raised voices on the street, at doors closing too loudly. Trauma does not leave just because the danger has ended. It lingers, teaching the body lessons the mind is still trying to unlearn. Mrs. Daniels gave me time. She made tea in the mornings and let silence do its work. Then came one fateful weekend. She gave me a shop where I could use to display my works as long as I needed. For the first time, I laid out my materials in the open. Beads caught the light. Wires curved patiently. My hands moved without fear. News of the program spread. People who had seen my work came looking. Some asked questions, some asked for pieces, some simply wanted to watch. When the organizers contacted me officially, when documents were signed and names recorded, it became real. This was not a mistake. This was not charity. This was recognition. Justice did not arrive dramatically. It came carefully. Phone calls were made, questions were asked, stories were compared, and when the truth could no longer be buried, consequences followed, not out of revenge, but accountability. I watched it happen with shaking hands and a steady heart. Closure is quiet. It does not shout. I remembered my parents, their sacrifices, their prayers whispered into the dark. I returned home months later, walking the same red dust road with new eyes. My mother cried when she saw me. My father held my hands for a long time without speaking. I built them a home slowly, brick by brick, not to prove anything, but to close a circle poverty had tried to keep open. Back in the city, the workshop grew. Tables filled, laughter returned. Young girls arrived quietly and left standing taller. I taught them technique, yes, but more than that, I taught them permission. Permission to try, permission to fail, permission to believe their hands mattered. Sometimes, after everyone had gone home, I sat alone and thought about everything that almost didn't happen. How close my dream came to dying quietly. How many nights I almost believed the voices that told me to stop. That is why I tell this story. And if my voice reaches them, if this story interrupts that lies that they have been told even for a moment, then every painful memory will be erased. If you are listening to this and you've lost hope in your dream because someone told you to stop, because someone said you were wasting your time, because someone laughed at what you believed in, listen to me. One day, the very voices that tried to silence you will have no choice but to watch you rise.
Do not give up. Your dream is not foolish. Your journey is not over.
If you stayed till the end of this story, maybe this message was meant for you. Because if the world tried to silence your gift today? The question is not whether you are talented enough. The question is this: will you bury it, or will you protect it until it changes your life? Tell me in the comments, what part of this story stayed with you the most? If it moved you, like this video so more people can find it. And subscribe for more powerful African stories of pain, truth, and hope. And remember, some gifts refuse to die. Until the next story, stay inspired.